CNBC presents Power Lunch with Bill Griffith and Michelle Caruso-Cabrera.
Mark Brown is still with us, certified financial planner and partner at Brown and Tedstrom out of Denver. Let's go to the phones again. We have Chad in North Carolina on the line. Hey, Chad. Hello, Chad.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Who's this?
This is Chad.
Hi there.
Just wondering if you could use variable annuities now, have a lot of features where you can guarantee certain returns if you're willing to pay a little bit higher expense ratios that you can lock in if you annuitize, and it will either pay you the higher of your growth at a certain date.
Right.
Is there a way you can use variable annuities outside of retirement plans to reduce risk?
You a fan of that?
The guaranteed return type of annuities? Well, there's a couple that have. The answer is no. I figured that if the insurance company has figured out a way to guarantee a minimum return, probably you could probably figure that out yourself, and that you could probably do it and do a little bit better. So I generally haven't ever seen or used those. But it's interesting for some people who might feel like they get either a 5% return or the market. There's annuities that do that as long as you hold it for 5, 7, or 10 years. And I think maybe for some people it might make some sense, but I haven't used them.
I mean, the knock on annuities for a long time has just been the fees, that they're relatively expensive compared to other types of income-generating contracts that you can find. But at the same time, it's just the same idea as with load mutual funds. There are going to be people who need professional advice. They need, I don't want to call it hand-holding necessarily, but they just don't have the time or the inclination to do their own homework, and they need that pro to help them out. And this is where you can help them.
Well, that's why I have a job, of course.
Yes, exactly.
But, yes, I mean, of course, how you pay your advisor, I think, is a whole different subject, and I think that's what you're alluding to. But as it relates to the annuity, the whole annuity and the higher fee element, what insurance companies have figured out is that they have this legislative tax-free wrap that they can wrap mutual funds around. So in the old-fashioned annuity where you just get a very low fixed rate of return, they say, well, let's sell this wrapper, and that's where they charge a higher fee for. So it still works.
All right. To the phones again. Wade in Tennessee. Hi, Wade.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Well, you are absolutely the best, by the way.
Thank you, Uncle Wade.
What do we think about REITs in general, and especially those that relate to health care, nursing homes, etc.?
Real estate investment trusts.
I think REITs are a great diversifier for a portfolio, and I wouldn't say that you'd put 30% of your money into REITs unless you were in that business, but maybe 5, 8% of a portfolio going to REITs is a great non-correlative asset class, for sure.
Finding income in this low interest rate environment is tough, and as one other caller alluded to, bonds for the most part aren't attractive at the moment, I would imagine, because of the anticipation that the Fed is going to start raising rates, short-term rates, perhaps as early as this summer, and that sort of takes some of the steam out of the market. Where do you find income, decent income right now, without taking too much risk at the moment?
And you might even look at something a little bit differently, what I call a bond substitute. So instead of buying or lending money to somebody at a very low rate as a lender, maybe what you do is don't do that and maybe pay off your mortgage. So if you're paying off a mortgage that you're spending $2,000 a month on, that's like having almost $500,000 in bonds. If you have Social Security, for example, is another great bond substitute. $15,000 a month or a year benefit from Social Security is like having $350,000 in bonds. So maybe you not do that.
It's about opportunity cost in many cases there. To Peter in New Jersey. Hi, Peter.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
I work with a financial planner and have about, or had about $60,000 with them. At this point, it's down to about 30.
Okay.
So over the past year and a half, the value's really decreased tremendously. Question, I guess, for Mark is, what would you expect certified, a CFP, to do in a case when the market is decreasing so quickly like this one did? Because I didn't have much reaction from the person that I worked with. It's kind of just sit tight, things will come back. Good example is he let me, or I guess let me buy Lucent fairly recently at $21 a share.
Right.
And now it's where it is. So I guess it's just an overall question for what you should really expect from a certified financial planner?
Good question. A lot of frustrated people out there right now looking not only to CFPs but to brokers and other financial professionals where perhaps they've lost some money the last few years.
Well, a certified financial planner by definition wants to always look at the big picture. So when he's making advice or she's making advice, it's in context with everything else that's happening in your financial life. So first, have a plan. A certified financial planner has a strict doctrine of going through a very good planning process.
And here's somebody who's frustrated who apparently has heard advice to stay the course, to stay with the plan that was developed a few years ago. Which apparently, and understandably so, he's a little frustrated. He's lost some money in the time.
Yeah, and a lot of people have lost a lot of money over the last couple of years. The key is that a well-designed plan, what happens over a 1 or 2 year period should not change how you operate your life, where you are, what your financial position is, or what you're doing.
Absolutely. Get on that phone, Peter, and call that planner and level with him or her. Mark, nice to see you, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Mark Brown, a new face to our segment here, certified financial planner and partner at Brown & Tedstrom, based in Denver, Colorado.